Hello! Today's stories come from r/entitled people. Today's story, well, it's what reposter username Simply Intentional described as a wild ride and recommended we all buckle up because it's a goodie. I couldn't agree more and decided to bring it under entitled people despite starting in Am I the Butthole and then moving to some spooky corners of Reddit as the OP becomes more and more unhinged. You'll see why in our first story. Am I the butthole for throwing away my girlfriend's umbilical cord? Throw away because her brother knows my Reddit. Hi, I'm a 34-year-old male. My girlfriend, 21, of 2 years, is Native American and she had this small, beaten up leather pouch. It was about the size of a golf ball and it was beaded, but there were beads missing and thread exposed, and the leather was stained and greasy with something. It was supposed to look like a turtle or a lizard or something, but it was so beaten that it was hard to tell. The thing absolutely stunk. We had it in a box of keepsakes, along with our photos and other things, and it made the box have a musty smell. Imagine my horror when I asked her what the thing was, and she told me it was her umbilical cord. It grossed me out, and I thought she was joking, so I laughed. She looked upset, so I asked if she was serious. She was. I asked her why she had it, and she told me it was her people's cultural practice to stop you from searching for things or something, among other things. I thought the sentiment was nice, but it stunk and was hideous. I understand that some people keep teeth and that sort of thing, but teeth don't stink. And teeth aren't kept in a strange little pouch. The whole thing skees me out, so I put it back and left it alone. But 2 weeks ago, when she was sleeping, I was going through our things and wanted to scan an old photo. I opened our keepsake box and the wave of musty air hit me. I couldn't take it anymore, so I hid the thing in a box in the basement. We went through our photos and things together. It was a lovely night. We did it over wine. And she didn't even acknowledge that it was missing. I even asked her if she noticed anything gone from our stuff. She said she didn't and laughed. So yesterday, I decided to rid us of it and put it in the trash. It went, and I could breathe a sigh of relief knowing my girlfriend's actual entire mummified umbilical cord was where it should have been to begin with. But today her mom called and told her that she was willing to remake the pouch for her if she sent it. Oops. She proceeded to tear apart our room looking for it, sobbing hysterically and not listening to any kind of reason. I'll admit, I felt bad. Maybe I should have just left it alone. But why even keep such a thing? I came clean and told her that I threw it away because I thought she wouldn't notice. She started screaming at me and said that it wasn't my right to throw her things away. I reminded her of when she threw my favorite shirt away just because it had a hole and a grease stain. She told me it wasn't the same thing, but isn't it? They were both items kept purely out of sentimentality. At least my shirt wasn't making our photos smell musty. She was suddenly calm, and I thought she was willing to talk about it, but she started packing her stuff. I begged her to stay, but she took her car and her stuff and left. I don't know where she went or if she'll be back, but I'm so devastated. It was such a small and dumb thing to split us up over, but I do regret it. Am I the butthole? Stop bringing our ages into this. She was and is an adult, and you have no right to judge us. Focus on what I'm talking about here and now. I didn't want to put it in a different container because at the end of the day, we still would have had a body part that should have been tossed to begin with. Just because something is cultural doesn't mean that justifies it. Would it be okay if I kept all my fecal matter in a little bag because I thought it was special? It doesn't and didn't make sense. I feel like she was overreacting, and I think everyone calling me the butthole should have to smell the bloody thing. Then you'd know why I tossed it. All these comments are making me feel like complete garbage. The last time we fought, she came back after an hour. She isn't back yet, and it's starting to take a toll. She's the one that makes dinner, cleans, comforts me. She's always there for me. The notion that I might spend tonight alone is destroying me. She's always been perfect to me, and I do things like this that upset her. Maybe I am the jerkhole. I'm sorry, guys. I've been calling her, and she won't answer. I just want to apologize and get her back. I want her to know how much she means to me. I think I might call her mom and tell her what I did and see if she can make another one. I know it won't be the same, and it won't have her umbilical cord anymore, but maybe it'll be a start. I couldn't get a hold of her mom, but I have been on the phone with the sanitation department for our city, and they put me on hold for 45 minutes looking through the trash from our neighborhood. I barely caught them, and it took a lot of pleading and convincing, but they were kind. they managed to find the pouch, and I'll have to pay a huge recovery fee, but that's all worth it. They agreed to let me pick it up tomorrow. If I can get a hold of my girlfriend, hopefully she'll come back to me and things can be all right. I'll never touch her stuff again if it means she'll stay with me. I'll update this when I can get a hold of her. This will be the last update. I'm so devastated. I got the pouch back from the sanitation center today as soon as they called me at 8 a.m. this morning. It was a little smashed up, but it's okay. If our city wasn't as small as it is, I might not have been able to get it back. I paid them and left. I left a voicemail for my girlfriend telling her I got it back, and she finally called me back. She told me she was coming back, and I felt butterflies again like when I first met her. I was waiting for her to show up, and I wanted to fully check the condition of the pouch, so I opened it and discovered what was causing it to smell. There was a cigarette butt in it beside her umbilical cord that looked like it might have been wet at some point. It made the pouch smell like ash, along with the leather stinking from whatever greasy substance was on it. The pouch was okay, so I waited for my girlfriend to come. Well, she came this evening and asked for it immediately. I asked if she wanted to have dinner with me, and she said no. I was hurt. She said she was coming back. She told me no, she just wants her pouch. I didn't want to be a butthole again, so I just gave it to her. I told her I loved her, and she slammed my own door in my face. I began to mourn our relationship, but she came back in and grabbed me by my shirt and asked why I opened it. I told her I wanted to see if it was okay. She said I didn't need to open it and asked if I took the cigarette out. I told her I just touched it to look at it, and she began to cry. She told me she was keeping that since her father committed suicide because it was the last thing he touched. She grabbed me again, and I thought she was going to hit me. But she just went to our room, presumably to see if she got all of her stuff. Then she told me not to contact her again, or she'd send her brothers to me. I won't be a jerk and get the police involved, but that was definitely a threat. I'm so heartbroken. I've lost my whole life. For 2 whole years, she was everything to me. I helped her get off her reservation. I paid for her GED. I did so much for her, but none of it matters now. I put so much time into our relationship and into her. I was in it for the long haul. I know I messed up. I know I'm a butthole. I know I'll be alone forever. Thank you all for making me see that. I went to our room and she threw what looks like porcupine quills or something everywhere. She stabbed them into my side of the bed, put them in my shoes, in my dresser drawers. It seems spiteful to leave something so difficult to pick out of carpeting and bedding. They're all I have of her now, though. I'm going to keep them. I hope she's better off without me. Lesson learned, I guess. I think you can see why I added this to the Entitled People sub. Seriously, I have no words. The comments provide some valuable insight in terms of the significance of the pouch and also introduce a user that might pop up later on in our deep dive. Yes, folks, this rabbit hole gets deeper. Alert Potato said, "You're the butthole. She's not coming back. You're an intentionally culturally insensitive butthole. She explained why and how it was important to her, and you threw it away. It is completely irreplaceable and not remotely like a shirt. I don't understand how that's not obvious. It has spiritual and cultural meaning. To compare it to an old shirt just proves how insensitive you're being. I almost guarantee she's ghosting your butt, as you deserve." Doom Taxi shared, "You're the butthole. I'm Indigenous. My tribe is Hunkpatty Dakota, and our people save the umbilical cord too. We put them in beaded pouches and keep them our whole lives, and they're supposed to be buried with us. They're extremely important, and oftentimes the pouch is made and beaded painstakingly by the person's mother. You had no right to throw it away. Why was putting it in the basement not enough for you? Why wouldn't you have told her you didn't like it and or ask her to put it someplace else or in something else? You're definitely the butthole. Also, OP, stop bothering your ex-girlfriend and her family. You've done enough. Your disrespect has lasting consequences that can't be fixed by selfishly asking her mom to just make another bag. It doesn't work like that. Go to therapy and figure out why you're like this." This next update is OP resurfacing on r/witchcraft. Are porcupine quills a Native American curse? My girlfriend left me a while back. It was justified because I was a terrible boyfriend to her. But I have been told by many that I might have been cursed by her because she stabbed a lot of porcupine quills into my bed, my clothes in the dresser, my shoes before she left. I think it may be true because I have been having a lot of extremely bad luck, and my hair has begun to fall out, among other things. I visited the doctor and he could find nothing obviously wrong with me, but I'm waiting on tests to come back. If she cursed me, what can I do to fix it? How can I fix it without harming anyone else or being hurt anymore? Please help me. I don't know where to turn with this. Hmm. Seems like OP is in quite the prickly predicament, and there's little in the way of sympathy. Shocking. The comments include a fairly long thread between OP and our familiar poster, Doom Taxi, from the initial story. I included it because it's a continuation of the update rather than reaction comments. And quite frankly, who doesn't want to see OP called out in this case? Doom Taxi said, "Laugh my butt off. Didn't expect to ever see this username again. As a Dakota person, even though you told me you don't care about my tribe, I've heard a few stories of Lakota people using quills to curse people, but they usually only put one quill on someone, and that's enough by itself to cause great misfortune. It sounds like she hates your guts. You brought that on yourself." OP replied, "Please, I just need help. I'm trying to be a better person. Does that count for nothing?" Fallen Wish replied, "Are you though? Are you trying to be better to win her back, or because you are aware of how ignorant and arrogant you were and want to learn and grow to be a more accepting and open person?" OP added, "I know I was a butthole and I'm trying to be better for myself and others so that when I find another girlfriend, she won't feel any of the pain my first girlfriend felt and our relationship can be balanced and actually happy. I just want to move on from this and be okay and be a better person. I don't want to win Carla back. I just want to get better. I'm tired of being a butthole. I was such a butthole." Fallen Wish replied, "And good luck with that. Your story struck a raw nerve with me, which is why I've probably been persistent on it. I've had someone I love and trust undermine and belittle me and my beliefs. I've lived with a narcissistic person and been trapped in that situation. Lucky she could go back to her family. I do hope you do grow from this. As you grow, you might find the curse lessons. You said you were going to keep the quills. I suggest burning them." OP replied, "I tried burning them and they wouldn't burn, they just gathered soot. And my ex's mom contacted me the other day and said that burning them wouldn't help, but I didn't tell anyone I tried to burn them." Fallen Wish 88 replied, "Bundle up, throw in a river." Edit to add, "You upset one hell of a mama. You disrespected her daughter, her late husband, and her ancestors. The daughter alone is enough to incur the wrath of most loving mothers. Add on the other two, and you have one heck of a tornado coming your way." The next chapter comes when OP turns to r/occult, who were none too happy about it and ended up deleting the following. "How do you break a curse? You can delete this if it doesn't fit here, but I don't know where else to turn. I tried the witchcraft community and nobody would help me. I'm scared and in pain. My girlfriend left me and she put a curse on me with porcupine quills. She's Native American and I don't blame her for leaving me. I deserved it. But I think this curse is too much for what pain I caused her. I've been losing hair and teeth. My nails are thin and flaky. I've been breaking out in prickly hot hives. I've been to the hospital and emergency room a lot this past week, and they aren't able to help me beyond giving me creams and pills like vitamins that don't work. I'm so scared every day gets worse. The rash aches and stabs at me like little pins when I try to sit or sleep. It's all over my body. I'm so exhausted. What can I do to break this curse without harming anyone else or myself further? Does anyone have any knowledge on Native American witchcraft? I just want to be okay. I am trying to be a better person. Please, can someone help me?" Ooh, don't I wish I had the comments from this update. But alas, it was deleted. I'm genuinely curious what the reactions were because r/occult, like r/witchcraft, from what I can see, is more about interest in iconography, metaphysics, and the like, rather than, the actual practice of these things. Not to mention, OP's genuineness in terms of personal growth continues to remain a big question mark. Let's get into the next update where things get strange. Our second to last update comes from r/religion, and OP starts to really take a turn for the worse. Story is, can God break curses? Can God break curses? Flaky nails, bleeding skin, burning hives, itching, bloody skin, bloody scalp. Herbs didn't help. Bleach burns skin. Teeth rotting. I'm rotting. Sick. I hear voice. I'm sick. Nobody can help me. May 29, May 29. Nobody can help me. Please, she's laughing at me. My head hurts. No sleep. Hospital won't help. Nobody can help me. Nobody can help me. I'm rotting. Oh, what can you really say about that? I'd just be echoing the comments, so let's jump to them. Someone said, "Please, please, please go to a therapist or at least go to the hospital and tell them this so they can refer you to your proper medical support system." Someone else said, Hey, homie, how about you cut the bull and seek medical help and a therapist instead of posting on Reddit? OP replied, I did. Don't worry, this post is very old. Shortly after that last update and comment, OP wrote the last update on r/slash mental health. How do I get back on track after a psychotic break? I recently had a psychotic break. I was hospitalized for a week and just got home today. I followed my therapist's advice and already removed all the reminders of my episode and used it as an opportunity to acknowledge the episode and cope. I'm discussing medications and what might have caused things exactly, and I'm optimistic. But what do I do now? I never had a history of mental illness. I never dealt with depression or anxiety or anything of that nature. I don't know what to do with myself, and it's the first time I've lived alone. It was a very humbling and almost embarrassing thing. I feel humiliated. I was babbling and covered in my own feces and harming myself. I've never experienced anything so scary as the episode I endured. I'm not sure how to pick up the pieces and carry on. My family doesn't know what happened, but they aren't very understanding of mental health, so I can't tell them. I want this separate from the rest of my life completely. But overall, I'm not sure what to do with myself. What do I do? How crazy did that get? I'm not sure why OP kept coming back to Reddit for help when it seems like his biggest issue was that he couldn't live with himself and the regret and the self loathing. Seems like he was looking for closure on Reddit, which will surely only be met with disappointment. And if you think that was creative writing, it might be. But I challenge you to look through the comments on this user because there is a lot more there. Let's read the final comments, where there is some surprising compassion. Room Governor said, how about not doing something so universally despised that everybody thought you were the butthole? Either that or a real idiot of a performance artist. OP replied, I understand that I was a butthole, and I stayed on this throwaway because I thought I deserved the accountability. I do deserve to be held accountable for that. And I was and still am currently facing the repercussions of being a butt stain of a human being. But I'll be abandoning this account because people, understandably, hate me when they see what I've done, and I can't receive any help I was looking for. I think I deserve to be able to try to do better. Someone else said, I think that he understands that he messed up, and bringing more negativity to him when his ex already forgave him is dumb. Anonymous added, right? Just leave the guy alone already. If you've enjoyed the story and would like to hear more, consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. Thanks, and bye for now.